it's just a sharing. The hidden cost of looking up or down at anyone and anything. And the reason why I came about this is because I've been browsing quite a number of Facebook support groups for mental health because I wanted to start my own mental health Facebook page or rather Facebook group, and I was looking at all the grievances, all the problems that people are facing, and I instantly got reminded about all of the times where I felt the same. And when I look back in my own personal experiences and also in the experiences in my observations of the people whom I coached before in the past, essentially a lot of depression, a lot of um, problems, shame, guilt, fear, desire, a lot of emotions which gets us to survive but prevents us from thriving. A lot of those emotions come from the idea of looking up at something. And some of you may be wondering immediately, hey, Felix, what do you mean by that? Like, I know looking down at something is bad, but is it wrong to look up at something? Well, my answer is it's not wrong because that would be judging. It's not wrong per se. All of us at some point in our life need to look up at something, but when you continuously look up at something, it stops you from progressing. I'm going to try to give you examples of that. So let's say as a child, you grow up and you look up at certain somebody, and you look up to this person a lot, right? So what this person has, what this person is in your mind, you would try to emulate, you would try to become like that person. And what happens is, along the way, you will either don't feel like wanting to become that person, maybe your priorities change. Or if your desire is very strong, and you achieve that, okay, you have that status where you look up to before in the past. And then now that you have attained that status, how does it feel? It feels like, yeah, it's normal now, right? Sure, you're gonna have some fun, a few weeks, you're gonna have some fun about it, but eventually, what you used to look up to is gonna be normal, and what you used to be, you're gonna start to look down on that, right? So the only way you can look down at something is if you look up at something, and that means including yourself. Not to mention if you look up at something or somebody and you desire it so strongly that you work very, very hard, and if you touch wood, failed to attain what you look up for, then you're gonna feel like a failure. See, once again, if you look up at something, the consequence of that is that you're gonna look down at something else as well. If you look up at yourself, you're going to look down at everybody else. If you look up at somebody, one person, you're going to look down on everybody else, including yourself. None of those things actually work. So that is in regards to a person. What about something? What about something? It's the same. If you look up to riches, then you're going to look down at poverty. And you also automatically, you're going to look down at anybody who choose to live a regular, so-called normal lifestyle. So what if you look up at love? If you look up at love, if you look at love as such a high priority thing, what's going to happen is anybody who doesn't have love, you're going to judge. If you don't have love, you're going to feel judged. You're going to judge yourself as well. Essentially, the problem with looking up or looking down at anyone, look at anything, is that if you look up at something or anyone, you're going to create desire. You create lust. And lust is actually not a really powerful Desire is actually not a very powerful thing. It is powerful if, let's say, you are lethargic, but it is not. These once you reach a certain point, desire only gets you to be hyperactive. Now, what if you look down at something? Say you used to, let's suppose you used to behave a certain way. Let's say you used to see selling as something which is people need to do only if they are low status. If you look down at selling, whenever you are in a position where you need to ask for something, you're gonna feel shame doing it. Yes, right? For those of you who are watching and you feel, and if you judge selling, at some point in your life you're gonna need to sell yourself, sell something, and you're gonna have a lot of internal conflict about it as well. So once again, there is no point. And if you want to go into and speaking along the same thread of desire, many of us desire to be important. We desire to be looked up to. We desire to have acknowledgement from everybody. So once again, we problem, same problem. Desire is the problem. It's like if you don't get it, then you're gonna feel shitty. And if you do get it, you're gonna feel shitty too. Why? Because you're gonna be just so judgmental of people. True happiness can only come when we stop looking up or looking down on anyone or anything. When we are able to be okay, when we are able to say, okay, that's a choice. That's what you choose. Okay, that's your choice. There's nothing wrong or nothing right about that. It's just a choice. And my life, the way I live it, is also a choice. There's nothing wrong or nothing right about it. It's just a choice. See, so the hidden cost of looking it up or down at anyone and anything is misery. It's, even though you may not realize it, even though we may not realize it, we are consigning ourselves. We are consigning ourselves to a certain way of being, to a certain way of thinking when we relate to things. Now, let me paint out a reality for you. Is there such a thing as up and down? Let's really think about that. Is there really such a thing as up and down? If I ask you, where are you right now? You can say, I'm on Earth. Are you really on Earth? Or are we in space? See, in space, whether something is up above you or down below you depends on where your head is orientated, isn't it? If my head is oriented here, up is here, down is here. If my head is oriented here, up is here, down is here. So likewise in life, in the dimension of space, three-dimensional space, that is the reality. What about the dimension of life? It is simply about what you value, isn't it? So some people may value riches and wealth and cars and house, whereas somebody may value a simple lifestyle. Not because they can't get houses and cars, but because they don't see. They don't see the need. They don't value it. Some people prioritize knowledge. Some people prioritize intellect. Some people prioritize physical strength. Is any of it wrong? Nothing is wrong. All of it is relevant. All of it is important. Because the reality is all of us have only 24 hours a day. And what we choose to do with that 24 hours a day defines what kind of results in what areas we have in life. But when we start looking up or looking down at anything, we spend so much time in breakdown, in emotional breakdown. Oh, I feel so shitty. I failed. I tried to do that, but it didn't work. Right? We feel like that, and we waste time instead of doing what we like. Just because we look up at somebody, we stop thinking about what we want. what we truly, truly want, because that is the right way. That is the right way. That person, I look up to him. He's so strong. But what is it? But the reason why that person is the way they are is because they prioritize certain things in their life, which allows them to work towards those things. But we may have our own priorities too. So my invitation to all of you, rather than looking up or looking down at anybody or anything, okay? I want to stress this: looking up. Don't even look up at anything. Don't look down at anybody. Okay, you guys know, you guys understand that, but don't even look up at anything. I want to invite you, instead of doing that, ask yourself, what is it that you truly value in your life? At the end of the day, what is your condition of happiness? If people can take away everything from you, what is the only thing that is left that they must not take away from you so that you can be happy? I will tell you this: the smaller your lists are, the happier you will be. And based on the people who I meet in my life, whether they are rich or poor, doesn't matter. It seems to me that when someone's condition of happiness is very little, they automatically become more successful. They are much more profoundly happier as compared with people who have a massive list of things, a massive laundry list of things, because they are caught up in this idea that, oh, I will be happy when. I will be happy when I get this. I will be happy when I get that. That's the problem. So that's my invitation to you. It is now worsening COVID situation in Malaysia. We have just risen to four-digit numbers. And when we are able to go out and we are able to work full force, it is very easy to escape from what is happening here and here. But when we are locked at home with nothing much to do, cannot go out, cannot escape, it is much more important than ever before to really assess what is our own value systems, because you can't escape it, right? So I implore everyone to take good care of your health, take good care of yourself. Understand that whatever results that we have in life, financially, emotionally, relationship-wise, health-wise, whatever results that we want to have in life, all of it starts from mental health. And there is a reason why our mental health is the way it is. So if you're feeling unsettled, reach out. If you're feeling not so good, all right, that shouldn't be the case. So look at that. And always, as always, I'm always here. Ask me any questions, PM me, talk to me if you need support. I'm here for you guys. And if you have any questions, you can always just DM me, and I will make sure I'll cover it. I'm here for you guys until tomorrow morning, 6:45 a.m. with Journal with me. Stay safe, stay healthy, stay true. Okay, goodbye. Good night.